Good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. I have got questions for you. What opens with what's now becoming a very familiar scene, Miss Nola talking to us from her bed in front of her white picket fence headboard, and what closes with Mars Blackman seeing something very unfamiliar and upsetting and soothing and talking about what the hell or hell to the gnaw. If you guessed, She's Gotta Have It, Season 1, Episode 2, Bootyful. Self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is beautiful. It's beautiful. You're correct. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. So let us proceed. Did I say I'm Angela and the channel is Be Fabulous You? Welcome back. I love you. Okay. So we're opening again. I said again. I don't remember how we opened the last one, but we seeing Nola hashtag Nola Darling talking to us from her bed in front of her white picket fence headboard. She's talking about Shamika, her friend, or we see Shamika, who I want to call Shamika, but it's Mecca, like the Mecca. You know, like if you're Muslim and you're going to Mecca in the Middle East because you're making a religious pilgrimage. It's Shamika. Remember that, Angela. She's painting her friend Shamika. Nola is painting her. And Shamika is like something about with the money, Nola's like, oh no, I'm putting something submitting this portrait for the Catlett Prize. Yes, talk about Elizabeth Catlett. Yay. I like to see Nola painting. I like to see the reference to black artists, a black woman artist. So she's painting for the Catlett Prize. Go ahead, girl. Educate us about the art world, about the black art world. So then we see a man arriving at a place called the Hot and Trot, and he's seeing Nola's protest poster, the street art piece that she worked on, pieces that she worked on, like my name is not, hey baby, my name is not, a boo a, my name is not sweetie, my name is not, you know, whatever. And he ripped the poster down. He like, what the F? And then we see Shamika, and I think Shamika works there at the Hot and Trot. And is it a strip club? What's going on? Then during the painting, Shamika is talking about using the painting to make her baby daddy jealous, and something about his big booty girlfriend, and you know, it's something going on with Shamika. We can see she got some issues about her booty and about self-acceptance. So this is she is the focus of the episode, in a way. So they talk about Nola's bruise from the street assault last time when the guy grabbed her at the end of the last episode, and she escaped, but she didn't escape unscathed. She a little emotionally upset, and she also has some physical left over from the situation. And Shamika ends up getting a peek of the painting, even though Nola didn't want her to see it before she was done, while Nola is treating the bruise. And she Shamika is like, did you tell the guys that you dealing with what happened? You should tell them, and you need to be painting my booty bigger. And Nola is like, look, I already agreed to this phantom weave, because she like, make my hair long and silky. That's what Shamika is saying. And you are already gorgeous. I accept what I got and what I don't got. That's what Nola is saying. And what about your daughter? They having a whole back and forth. But what about your daughter? Little black girl's got enough to deal with without seeing you change your body, and then she gonna think something is wrong with hers. And Shamika is like, just support me. Like, she don't really want to hear that. She's, she out here trying to do the best she can to survive and to feel good about herself. And if she needs to get her booty enhanced, then that's what she gonna do. That's her perspective. And then we see Mars, he getting grilled on the street by Nola's white neighbor. I didn't know what was going on, but it's, she's like, do you live here? What are you doing in this brownstone? Where are you going? What are you doing? And Mars is not here for it. He's very confident. And the whole interaction, it was kind of like, ugh, but it felt very real, like the stuff that, people have to deal with. And also, I liked how he stood up for himself. It's like I believed it, and I'm buying that Mars character more and more. So then we see a montage, and it starts with Mars noticing her street art posters, and then, he's like, you know, is this you? And Nola is like, you know, and asking if he can have one in her studio. And she's like, you know, no, you can't have one. And this is not for sale. This is for my healing, basically. And she's like, and plus, don't tell anybody it's me because it's illegal. And, you know, hey, I did them after this guy grabbed me on the block. And then we have a montage of the three men's reactions to Nola's encounter at the end of the last episode. And Mars wants her to get cleansed by his priestess sister. And he settles for giving her a dog, make those dog butt dudes go away, like some mace, like some dog mace. But it's mace. I think it's like mace or pepper spray or something. And then, you know, he's like, it's some for them dog butt dudes, you know. And then we're at the Hot and Trot nightclub, and Shamika is a waitress there. And she says, you know, she take her, you know, she like, hey, I want to dance. You know, I want some stage time. I want more money. And then we see Nola at a table with two white folks. Oh, with two folks, not two white folks. And it's her mom and dad. And her mom is s1e2. s1e2. Remember s1e2? s1e2. Joy. But anyway, her mom is s1e2, and, you know, yep, and they're having dinner, and, you know, she's showing them a picture of the Shamika painting in process. Then we see Greer and Nola on the bed, and Greer is giving Nola a self-defense class. So this is like, you know, he's being supportive of her. You know, Mars has been supportive of her, and he tells her that she's beautiful just as she is, and he wouldn't want her to change, you know, a thing. Like he's saying, you know, I'm joking about you beefing up, but I love you just as you are. That's, yes, aw. And then we see the mayor outside on the stoop. Remember the mayor? And I barely remember him, but I'm like, the mayor. And then Nola, I think it's Nola's white neighbor, comes out, and she's like, what you doing out here? And she complains, and he's like, I'm out here because I'm out here. And then she just roll her eyes and go in. So we start to get it. I start to get an impression of the neighbor as, even though she was checking Mars, she know the mayor, so she tried to check him, but it ain't no deep felt hatred type checkation where she calling the police and you know, it's like he just part of the neighborhood who get on her nerve, and she like everybody else who might, anybody else who might complain about him. But, you know, so, you know, that was kind of interesting. But anyway, we see Nola continuing to work on the Shamika painting, and then her phone is going off, and she looks at her phone, but she does not answer. And then we hear and see Mr. Overstreet leaving a message. Look, I know things are complicated and with us right now, but I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. You know. And then we at a cafe at a bike shop, and we see Mars. He's talking to his co-workers, and he like, last night Nola did some freaky stuff, and I sucked her toes for the first time, and I never thought I would. I don't know why he talked about his business with but anyway, that's what it was. That's what had happened. That's what had happened. And then we see Nola leaving the brownstone, her brownstone. She's bringing the bike down the stairs, and she's running into the mayor, and she sees a We Buy Homes flyer on the street, and she ends up throwing, I mean, not on the street, but like on her door, and she ends up throwing that away. And her dad was talking about all the big money offers that he's getting to sell his place, you know, where they live. So it's like we can feel that gentrification is like, you know, full steam ahead in the community. She got a white neighbor. You know, it seems like there might have already been some conversation about it before. When I lived in Brooklyn, I lived in Bed-Stuy. Fort Greene. What was in Fort Greene? It seemed like it was something in Fort Greene. I think Fort Greene is where the Brooklyn Moon Cafe was. That's the first place I ever went where people were snapping. So I feel like it was already the front end of gentrification. I think that Fort Greene was where, there was this Senegalese restaurant. That's the first time I ever had ginger. And I remember the first time like ginger, like not ginger ale, but like, and not even ginger beer, because it was stronger than anything I had ever had. And the first time I got it, it was like I could just take a sip, and then by the time I could just drink a whole. And then they had the best sweet potato pie. And also at that time I was eating, they had some lemon fish, like it had this onion and this onion gravy sauce on it, and you could get it with brown rice, and you could get it with couscous. What was that? Curandai was the name of that restaurant. I think all of that was in Fort Greene. And 4W, 4 Women, it was like a collect. I think all of that. But anyway, they in Fort Greene. The gentrification is happening all over Brooklyn, full steam ahead, and Nola trying to do her part to slow it down. So that's why she ball up that thing and throw it away. And she don't own her place. She rents her place because she had said she found it, I think, and her name was on the lease when her friend was like, look, we got to get things together. And Nola's like, no, we don't have to do nothing because my name is on the lease. So if you ain't happy, you can leave. And she gives Demea a gold coin for good luck, and he talks about maybe doing some collaborative artwork together, because she asked him what he's working on, and he shows her his artwork. I like seeing the street artist aspect too. Then we see Nola putting up one of her posters, you know, and it's like dark, and a guy walks up on her, and he's like, hey, that piece is looking good. And I don't know if in her head she heard, your piece of butt is looking, I don't know, but she turned around and she maced him. And it's like almost at the same time that she did it, she realized what he was saying, but she was like ready, because see, the men has been coaching her. I remember when I had an incident when we would go walking, then my husband, we would like practice like how to break a hold, because this guy put his hands around my neck, so he showed me how to break a hold, and you know, it was like a lot of stuff. So it's like these men have been coaching her on how to deal with this situation and trying to equip her so she ain't out here, you know, just being victimized. So that's productive, you know. And she's like, oh my God, wow, oh my God, thank you for the support, because she done maced the guy. He out in the street, I thought he was going to get hit by a car. He didn't get hit by a car. We see a woman arriving in a brownstone, and I'm thinking, is this next door to baby girl, to Nola? But you know, it's so many brownstones and communities of brownstones in Brooklyn that, you know, I didn't really know where it was, but it's Jamie. The video vixen is showing her butt, and she's singing, we don't move your booty. Go on, move now. You see how she just ignored me? You see how I'm getting treated? Come on, Bella. And that dog can walk down the street. You don't own the street. See? She think the dog is gentrifying the street. She's like, get out of here! Or maybe she the gentrifier, because this dog has been here longer than her. She new to the neighborhood. She trying to regulate this dog. These people been living here long. So she the gentrifier. Okay, but anyway. The woman is arriving in a brownstone. I guess it's the wife of Jamie. He's there, and I'm like, is this a neighbor of Nola? And then Jamie is like, Sarah, you should be more careful coming home at night. And then Sarah is like, we live on the safest street in Brooklyn. So she might live in, what was it? Was it Park Slope? I was part of the Park Slope Food Co-op, but there were some other nice neighborhoods. So maybe she lived in the safest street. I don't know. But anyway, but they, you know, so yeah, she probably, yeah. Okay. So then we're at an African dance class, and 2 of the drummers have on Mashoot tees. Mashoot was in that neighborhood too. Is that Fort Greene? That's when I was there. But, and I'm like, do they all have on Mashoot tees? Is it the Mashoot drummers? What's up? But it was nice to see. And it's a very mixed class, a lot of cultures, a lot of colors. And then we see Nola walking out with a red-headed white woman. And then there are 2 brown women waiting outside, and Nola joins the brown women, and the white woman leaves. And she's like, I love this the white woman, I love this Afro-Caribbean class. I'll see you next week. And then one of the brown women says she has a boyfriend who wants to come to the class, and then the other brown woman is like, oh, that's not weird, just some old white dude watching us shake our black booties. And then Nola is confessing that she maced some random dude, like how, you know, and how she's still kind of like a little nervous about what had happened to her when the guy grabbed her on the street and she had to fight for her life. And then we see an ad on the bus for She Asked For It, and we had seen reference to that earlier with Shamika. And then it cuts back to She Asked For It, the TV show. We had seen that before, and it's some brown woman with big blonde hair and a big obviously fake butt being shown off and grabbed by the host guy. And you know, we see cameras there, so we know it's some kind of reality show. And then the brown girls, I realize that's Shamika and Nola's ex-roommate Clorinda, is that her name? Chloe and Shamika. Chloe and Shamika. And the ex-roommate is really aggressive, anti-booty alteration. And she like, you know, we got liberation as women so that we can carve ourselves up. And, you know, for the male gaze, so men can be looking at us and this is some bull. I'm not for it. Who would go on that show? They're dumb. They're foolish. And then Nola is like, well, you know, we got liberation so we can do what we want. So if we want to carve our booties up, we can carve. And then Shamika is like, well, no smoothies for me. I'm going. I got to get my daughter. Because she had already said, Shamika said earlier something like, don't be telling your stuck-up friend or stuck-up Clorinda about me wanting to get my booty enhanced because, you know, she's stuck up or whatever. So you can see that tension there. Then we see the ex-roommate, Clorinda, she's coining terms and planning art movements, like something about the diaspora, but diasporific art or whatever and then they go into a space and she's scouted for the gallery and she's like, it's going to be the biggest show that I've ever curated. So she's an art curator and I'm going to bring so much black art to this white gallery. Folks is going to think they're in Mother Africa and I want you to be a part of the show. And Nola is like, oh my God, yes. And then Clorinda is like, and Baptiste said yes to the show. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is such a big deal. Everybody's going to be there. I haven't sold any artwork. This is what Nola's saying. I don't know when the last time is I've sold artwork to somebody who wasn't trying to have sex with me or something like that. And then a guy comes in, he like a worker or whatever. He like, what are you doing here? And Nola explodes. And the ex-roommate is like, wait, hold on. I got it. Clorinda. She's like, we got the key from so-and-so and blah, 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 blah. And then Nola's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And then her ex-roommate is like, Clorinda, I think her name is like, you need to get some help with this assault thing. And Nola's like, I'm not into the therapy thing. And then we see Nola with a woman who has a crystal ball. So I guess she's gone to like a spiritual reader. And the woman is like, for $2,000, I can clear out the negative energy. And Nola's like, Then we see Nola with a massage therapist, energy worker, and she like, shoot him. We're clearing out the energy. And then we see Nola with Mars going to see his priestess sister, and she's throwing shells. Go ahead. She gotta have it. Show the culture. And then we're back to the painting of Shamika, and it's behind Nola. So the way we can see it, we can see that Shamika has the silky hair in the painting, but it's blocked by Nola's head. And then we see a piece with, and then we see another piece with Shamika with a fro, like a long fro. And Nola says, Shamika. I think that's how it went. And then we see Mars, and he's on, it's nighttime, and he's, on his bike. He's leaving the shop, and then he's, riding his bike, and then he sees something, and then he stops riding. Then he gets off the bike, and then he says, oh, hell to the gnaw. And that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, subscribing, being here, being you, and being fabulous. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. You are number one, so be you. Be fabulous you. Be you.